Hello, this is Adam at Nagama.
This is Paul.
And recently Sony added ShareFactory through the 1.7 firmware update on the PS4. It's basically a bit of video editing software. It's separate entirely from just the share function. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, the things it can do, and whether or not you should use it.
So the video editing software that was on there before was very basic. I mean, you couldn't really do anything with it.
You can trim, and that was about it, wasn't it?
Yeah. So this is much more extensive. So you can add multiple clips, then you can trim your clips, you can add transitions. So a lot of the sort of basic stuff you'd expect to do on any video editing software, really. I mean, the best things about it, to be honest, are the simple things, like just splitting clips, adding clips. There are effects and stuff that they've added in there, but a lot of those are rubbish.
Yeah,
like,
they've got branded effects. So you have infamous effects, you have playroom effects, and like style-wise, I suppose they're quite nice, but they just look really cheesy. They look like something you get from an early video editing thing you get at the start of YouTube.
Yeah, and they've got like tacky like stickers that are like from clip art and stuff that you can put in there, and like terrible spinning transitions. So I mean, that aspect of it isn't so good, but you know, it's got fade to black transition, it's got cross blur, some less offensive stuff. So
yeah, and it's worth saying that some of the effects aren't actually that bad. Some of them you might actually use. Most of them, however, you're probably just going to stick with the simple ones.
Yeah.
So you've used it more than I have, Paul. Is it easy to use? Is it complicated? Can anyone get on with it?
It's as easy to use as it can be using a controller. I mean, obviously, that it's much easier editing video using a mouse, and you're always going to be limited to some extent using a controller. But I think it is, considering that you are using a controller, I think it is pretty easy. I mean, it takes a while to sort of get your head around like what everything does, because you know it's got symbols at the bottom, then you know a little square, and then an icon. You're like, well, I don't know what that means. But once you've worked it out, then yeah, it's relatively easy.
Yeah, I noticed, because obviously you are having to rely on circle button and the X button and the options, but you have to remember what does what, and it can be a little bit confusing. But I thought it was fine once you learn how and what each thing does.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to some extent you're having to like go through menus and then back out again, just because, as I say, you're using a controller. But I'd say it's relatively easy to use. I mean, it's a vast improvement on what was there before. And you can actually make a decent video if you stick to the simple stuff, you know, splitting your clips, adding simple transitions and stuff. So I think it's a good little bit of video editing software.
But it probably wouldn't be as good as a more professional software like After Effects or anything like that.
No, it's not as good as a proper video editing software. It's not going to give you the flexibility that those types of software do. But for what it is, a video editing software on a console for anybody to use, it's good. I think it does the job.
Yeah, I've already seen a lot of people on YouTube and on Reddit and places like uploading their videos, and they're not the most professional things in the world, but they look nice. You know, they're well done, and it's good to see that most people are avoiding all the stupid transitions.
Although if you do want to see all the stupid transitions, have a look on our YouTube channel.
Tell you what, we'll put a link in, because we've made actually the best video ever thanks to ShareFactory. So you better enjoy that.